ferns, yawning, stretching, beginning to open. Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome to our fall Ohigan service. It's always nice to have this service to begin the fall season, change in the weather, and everything seems kind of fresh. Lots of things, programs at the temple are beginning again with Dharma school and the school schedule for the young ones and their families, and many other programs as well are starting again after the short summer slowdown in August. So it's always nice to come in September to enjoy our Ohigan service. So I always look forward to it. There's kind of a freshness in the air and very enjoyable, and it feels like things are starting again. So nice to have you here. I'd like to introduce you to our chairpersons for today. Yes, serving as our chairpersons for today's Ohigan service are Squeek and Kiki. You might remember them from serving at past services, and before this service we were talking a little bit, and yeah, you know, they are new and young at the temple and really appreciating the friendships and the support through hard times and all these things that the temple provides. But they're asking, but we're enjoying it, but are we supposed to be doing something? Are we supposed to be meditating or practicing, or maybe we're not sure what we're supposed to do at the temple always? So maybe you can explain some of that. So these are very good questions, and maybe others as well wonder, you know, what is our practice? What are we supposed to be doing other than taking care of bazaars and festivals and cooking and eating and chanting? And is this what we do, or is there some kind of more specific direction? So maybe Ohigan is a good time to explore some of those ideas. Anyway, we are happy to have Squeek and Kiki here to serve as our chairpersons. They're too young to wear their masks, but nice to have their youthful enthusiasm here at the temple. You see that they have their onenju, and so they are ready for service. I would like to provide the service order for today. We'll begin with the 3 treasures, and you can join me. And this will be followed by the Raisanmon, the 3 treasures in Japanese. Following this will be the Hyobyakumon, announcing the purpose of this gathering, this fall Ohigan service. Then I'll take my seat up on the altar. We will chant the Sanbutsuge and the Sanbutsuge. Nembutsu and Ekoku will complete the chanting portion of the service, and then I'll come back here for my Dharma message. Okay, so please join me for the 3 treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the 3 treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in the spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Raisanmon. Ninjin ukegatashi imasude ni uku. Buppo kikigatashi imasude ni kiku. Konomi konjo ni mukatte dosezumba. Sarani izure no sho ni mukatte kakonomi o dosen. Daishu moro tomo ni shishin ni sambo ni kieshi tatematsuru beshi. Mizukara butsu ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni. Daido o taige shite mujoi o okosan. Mizukara ho ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni. Fukaku kyozo ni irite chie umi no gotoku naran. Mizukara so ni kieshi tatematsuru. Masani negawakuba shujo to tomo ni. Daishu o tori shite issai muge naran. Ujo jinjin mimyo no Howa. 100,000 man go ni mo ayo kotokatashi. Ware maken mon shijuji suru koto o etari. Negawakuba nyorai no shinjitsugi o keshi tatematsuran. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda. Please join me in reading the Hyobyakumon for this Ohigan service. On this occasion of our temple's annual observance of the Fall Higan, we are gathered to adorn the altar, burn incense, chant the sutras, and deepen our understanding of the Dharma. During the equinox, when the hours of day and night are equal, the sun symbolically rises in the east and sets in the west towards the direction of the Pure Land. We gather to listen and meditate upon the teachings of the Dharma as clarified by Shinran Shonin. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda. 三部上、三仏下。
人人の空
長位解任精進尿税三昧知恵以上公正特分不行志願一切空空一切大安決し有分百千6万無量大小修行語者供養一切使徒処分不尿愚道検証不逆異尿語者処分世界不不影無修仙道光明師匠縁知小国領税精進二次難量量が差分国土第一五種奇妙道場超然国尿内音二無闘争ガト愛民道断二切実法来生新年少女糸が国経楽安穏公文神妙税が心象本願の非力所所欲実法世尊知恵無下長領子孫知が信領計領心死食六中家業精進忍辱不敬
Good morning again, everyone. Ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome to our Fall Higan service. It's very nice to have you all here and there joining us for this service. each Ohigan, we always hear the story of how there's a balance, harmony in nature, and days and nights are of equal length, and the weather is usually pretty calm, and so it's a very pleasant time of year. And so this harmony that is surrounding us, and I like to think that it's permeating us, and so perhaps we can feel a kind of equilibrium, kind of balance in our own selves as well. So Ohigan is a time to recognize this harmony that surrounds us and that we are a part of this harmony. Like Squeek and Kiki were saying earlier, they like coming to the temple. They feel the support of the Sangha members. They have all these friendships that they've been able to find and grow. And, you know, they've had their own difficulties in life, and the members and the teachings really help them to feel supported and not to feel so isolated. And they really appreciate that. But they said that sometimes it's not so clear what we're supposed to do. We feel nice, we feel good here when we come and we chant together and we eat together, and I like all of that, but are we supposed to be doing something? Is Namo Amida Butsu, is that our main practice? And so sometimes it's not clear, not only for the young ones, but maybe others as well. So what is our practice? How does the Nembutsu work like this? And so these kind of questions, we wonder, what is it that we're supposed to be doing? Maybe Dharma school teachers struggle with what is it exactly we're supposed to be teaching the younger ones to do when we don't know what to do. You know, is it so clear or is it not? And also we often hear everyday life is our practice. And so doing whatever we go through in every situation, every moment of every day, we are provided an opportunity to practice how to be, to have the proper frame of mind and effort, and all of these things we can look at through Ohigan when we are provided this, the Six Paramitas as kind of a guide of how to live our lives, okay? And each of these practices, sometimes I think, gee, I'm not ever going to do these perfectly and become enlightened. I'm not going to become a Buddha, so why try? But it's kind of a process, and it's not the end goal to become a Buddha, but in this process, we improve ourselves, our relationships with each other improve, okay? I can be a better friend. I can be a better father, a better teacher, a better husband, a better son, by learning, trying to observe and practice and watch for these six paramitas, the six perfections, and see how does it go. So when we look at these, oftentimes we talk about the six paramitas, but we talk about dana, mostly selfless giving, giving or generosity, and the others we kind of blur over. Okay, so today we'll go through all of them, danas, giving or generosity, and we see this, you know, giving freely and not expecting anything in return, and we see this often when we come to the temple. People are preparing something, maybe some snacks for after service, maybe bazaar time, everyone's busy hustling around getting things prepared and done, and all these things are just contributing to the overall effort. You're not expecting something in return, we're just doing, and you see this repeatedly. So this is a practice of dana that we see regularly all around the temple, okay? And the second one is sila, ethics or right behavior. And if you were to compare the six paramitas and the eightfold path, it might be parallel to right speech, right conduct, right livelihood. So all of these things are how we act. And through how we act, we bring a harmony into the world, and we refrain from causing harm, okay? So we want to be polite to each other, be aware of each other at the temple, and then again anywhere, at the store, in traffic. We want to be kind and considerate, and then there'll be less conflict going around and a little more harmony. And so we contribute not only to our own lives, but to the wellness of society. So we go to meetings, and maybe there'll be times when two people disagree, but even though they disagree, usually they're able to still be polite to each other and express their different opinions and share their perspectives. And so without getting angry or throwing things or breaking your camera, you can still be polite and talk to each other, right? The third one is kshanti, perseverance or endurance. So being patient. And so again, to look at the Eightfold Path, it might be parallel to right effort. But this effort is kind of internally how we are acting in our, so perseverance, patience, and we try to stay calm in things we endure in our lives, even though it might be difficult, even though it might be serious, even though maybe there's an illness or an injury or an accident, something happened that needs your full attention, and still you're able to keep your patience and your calm and able to do this, okay? I was thinking of examples of where we practice this patience and perseverance, and I thought of DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles. So if probably most of us have been there waiting in line and waiting, hopefully patiently waiting in line. So when they're on number 12 and you're number 147 and you sit there patiently in line, this is a practice of kshanti, patience, DMV. The fourth one, vidya, okay? Diligence and effort, and we want to do things, work hard, and to enjoy working hard. So when we do something like setting up the bazaar again or something like that, another event, study session, a lecture, chairs need to be put up, the floor needs to be cleaned, food needs to be prepared, and all these things, you know, you like to work with people who work hard and get these things done properly and well. And so doing these things, we work hard, we enjoy working with others hard, and there's a give and take there and a camaraderie. So again, a harmony comes, and this is again from the Eightfold Path, right effort, but this is more of an external, okay? Kshanti is internal effort. Vidya is an external effort where we're working hard and enjoying this working hard and doing this together. Coming back at maybe the second day of the bazaar, then we really notice this is effort to get there and to crank up the energy one more day, one more time, and to see it through. So this is effort, vidya, diligence and effort. And the fifth one, dhyana, meditation, concentration. And so we're trying to be focused, okay, and not distracted by so many things. There are many, many things that kind of get us out of focus and distract us when we go through life. Even going from here to there, trying to get something done, something else comes up, okay? And a few years ago, you would hear a lot about multitasking. And then more recently, you hear that doesn't really work. You know, you're kind of scattered rather than being focused and getting all your concentration on one thing and getting it done and doing it very well. So dhyana is the same kind of concentration. So to parallel with the Eightfold Path, right mindfulness, right concentration is the same meditation concentration that is dhyana, okay? And at the temple, maybe we've had committees who are trying to improve the building next door or painting the exterior of our property. And so those kind of things, you know, we don't want to get distracted. We want to see what what kind of bids we have, what kind of timing we have, what is the cost going to be, how much are they going to take care of, can we count on them, who's going to oversee all of this, do we have enough funds, and all these things. This is concentration. So these are specific projects, but this type of mind to be concentrating, it continues on to other things we do, whatever else we have to face in life. Okay. And the final, number 6 of our 6 paramitas is prajna. And this is wisdom, and to see from the eyes of the Buddha. Sometimes I've heard people think something occurs and say, what would the Buddha say if he were here? How would the Buddha see this if he were here? How do I see it? How would the Buddha see it? So there's a distinction from the Buddha's perspective and our limited perspective. Not to switch from one to the other, but we want to recognize and notice both. What would be the Buddha's perspective? What is my usual or normal perspective? And we see both of these things and differentiate what is real and what is relative. Okay? Not to pick between one or the other, but to be able to recognize and to see both of these. And so in the Eightfold Path, this would be right view, right thought. Okay? So right view, right thought is to see things with prajna, to see things with the wisdom of the Buddha. So all of these things, how do we cultivate this prajna? And I like to think we come to the temple and we come here and we cultivate the right view, right thought by being at the temple to listen to the stories and the lessons of the Dharma. Okay. So these are the 6 paramitas that are provided as a guide each Ohigan, spring and fall. And so we are use these to be able to recognize the world of suffering and the world of peace. 2 separate realms, but yet they are the same. So both aspects are part of this oneness of enlightenment that dissolves all these distinctions of one or the other. Even samsara and nirvana become one. And so this is the lesson of Ohigan. Okay? For myself, I like to feel my mind and body as a large body of water. The surface is calm, and the water is stable, but it's also fluid and adaptive. So if that's as close to awakening as I ever get, then I'm pretty okay with that. So as we come to the temple, we continue to do our practices, reciting the Nembutsu, listening to the Dharma, listening to the teachings, sharing time together, chanting together, eating together, doing things together, and being a part of and contributing to the harmony that we can all live within. Okay. So I'd like to close here with my message. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Thank you for being here. I'll now set up, light the incense, and we could come up here and there. Hopefully you have set up something at your own homes, incense or other types of offerings, whatever you have selected, and we will do our Oshoko and conclude our service. Please join me in Gassho one more time. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida, Namo Amida, Namanda, 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 Namanda.